Yeah, we all know that AI is taking over. We all use it, but what I really want to know is if I'm getting bumped as a photographer by AI, are you as a photographer going to get bumped by AI? So we're going to deep dive into this question today using some pro level software that I paid for to see if it can generate a better result than what we can as professional portrait photographers. Hey everyone, I'm Sean Turi. I've been a professional portrait photographer in New York City for over 15 years. I now have multiple locations in Manhattan, satellite studios in Los Angeles. I have worked really hard to build a successful business as a portrait photographer. I've been experimenting with AI, but I'm curious, are we at the point where it can replace me? Now that's a huge game changer. So in this video, we're going to try out a platform called Headshot Pro, which claims to never need your picture taken again and to just upload 15 photos and you have professional portraits. Well, let's find out. All right, so we already know that AI is here to stay and it's made a big impact on photography. I mean, there's apps like Adobe Firefly that create really cool backgrounds. There's apps you can download on your phone to do editing. Adobe has all their new tools that have AI integrated into it. And there's applications like Headshot Pro that we're going to try that claim to completely replace photographers altogether. So the question is, like, is this going to replace photography? Is this the future? Or are there things that AI just isn't able to replicate? So let's break this down for a moment. I want to actually flip this back on you. If you take pictures of someone, what makes you unique to your session? Put the gear, put the lighting aside. What makes your session unique when someone shoots with you? The answer is you. It's what you bring to your session. And why is that important in a portrait session? Because it's about human connection. You're not just a monkey pressing a button. You're building a relationship with an individual. When they come in, they're happy, they're excited, they're anticipating the shoot. You start doing some test shots and some light checks, and they're laughing. Boom. You already capture a moment. And then the smile starts to relax, right? They relax out of that moment, but the warmth is still in their eyes. Boom, that's another moment. Can AI replicate these small human nuances? Or are we truly just binary? Are feelings just binary, all code? And if it is, then AI will solve that problem and will be able to replicate it. So let's find out if Headshot Pro can replicate human connection in an AI generated image. So I already paid for Headshot Pro. So now I have an email, order successful. You can be uploading your photos here. And I'm gonna use iPhone shots, right? That's what most people end up having are iPhone photos. All right, so the first thing it's asking for is it wants a little more 3/4. So let's see here. A white background and smiling, okay. We'll use the window. Am I beautiful? All right, next. Look professional. Oh, I gotta do my professional look here. Whatever the hell that means. So we have a series. This is 4 of 15, so I'll probably push through these in the edit. There's a lot of repetition it's asking me for on like look away from camera and then with face away from camera and then eyes to camera. And it's having me repeat a lot of these. So far it's been shoot against a white wall smiling, look away from chin away from camera but eyes into camera, and stand against a window smiling. And look professional, that's the other one. It wants me to look professional, whatever the heck that means. Yeah, like that's a good example. Look professional. Now, as a photographer, I would say that's horrible direction, right? Like you wouldn't just say look professional. You want to guide people there emotionally. And I do that through conversation and letting the individual find their way into that. So I'm curious how they're able to adapt that, because that's such generic direction from a photographer's perspective. Okay, so it says if I've completed this, I can jump back on the computer here and can continue to the next step. Looks like that's enough photos. 6 foot. Oh, quite personal, interesting. I'm curious how they use this information. They want height, they want weight. I mean, there's a ton of wardrobe options. Interesting, they're even doing a military uniform. I mean, this would be so cool if they can land this. I'd be excited. I have zero threat with AI. If we can, listen, if AI can lock this in, then let's go. I'm all about it. There's so many advantages to being able to create images like this from a professional business perspective. Submit my photos. All right, so it's been less than 2 hours. I say it's probably been about an hour, and I got an email saying that the images are ready. So let's do the big reveal. I clicked on the link, and let's take a look. All right, this is interesting. So I'll say this offhand. This is the closest I've seen to image generation where the shots actually look like me. I've tried Dolly, ChatGPT, Midjourney. This is the most, this is the closest that I've seen where they actually look like me in the closest direction. But I can still see they look AI. There's something lacking. So let's just see here. Okay, so this looks like me. And you can see they're having a hard time with body type too. I mean, it doesn't really know, so it's guesstimating. This sort of looks like me. This is close to looking like me. My body's too full there, but that's my smile. That looks like me. No, it's my smile. That's close. I look tired in these, but listen, I might be tired today, right? I got a wife and 2 kids. This is okay. It's funny the small things that make a difference where a shot can look like you or not. A little bit more full there. My smile, like that's a little too big, but I'm curious about that. Looks like I'm looking off camera, but I mean, they're not bad. There's a wide variety of them. These don't look like me, the one out of the podium. This looks like me at 200 pounds. I mean, the hair looks good. This is closest to me of all these so far. That's close to me. I mean, this isn't bad. That's the worst one. Yeah, that has my vibe. Interesting. This actually looks like one of my old studios. This one's okay. This one's not bad. Well, all right, let's confirm photos. I don't even know what this means, confirming these photos. Let's just find out. 4.5 megabytes PNG file. Okay, this is where okay, so this is where it starts to look AI once you zoom in on it. Now, this will get better with time. The hairstyle, okay, so let's analyze this, because this one's the closest, I would say, in realism to me. Right away, it does look AI. Once you zoom in, you can see the textures are just not right. There's texture, but in between the texture, it's too smooth. Very airbrush looking, or as if they used a high frequency separation layers and went overkill with it. Not crazy resolution, but that'll improve. I mean, they did the facial hair well. The texture of the hair and like just how it flows is accurate. The lines on my neck, the smile lines, the dimple, like, I mean, that's all accurate eye color. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Okay, so when we look at this one again, you can see immediately the textures, skin textures look AI, but it's getting really good. Teeth, facial hair, these lines, I mean, those exist on me. The smile lines here, this stuff is accurate. And at a distance, as a profile shot, you know, you're in the arena of tricking the eye for sure. I don't see any funny distortions. You know, another thing I'm looking for too is, does lighting on subject, myself, make sense for the lighting in the environment, right? We want that to look natural. And it seems to be. I mean, we have, clearly there's big windows around in this shot, and I'm getting sort of an edge light or rim light from that, and then on the side as well. You know, I would probably liquefy this and clean up the suit and reduce my body size a little bit. I'll have a little bit too much mass in there. But I gotta tell you, I'm impressed. It's better than I anticipated, to be honest with you. So here's what I think. This is well on its way, and there is a use case for this. I see this being a great way to get corporate headshots. For anyone that's ever done corporate headshots, you know, people coming in to get their shots done want to get out as fast as possible. Most people are dreading having their pictures taken. So if you can create an image of them that looks 90, 95% close for a profile picture on the company website or on LinkedIn, I think this will be plenty good for most people. It's also going to help reduce costs for companies, for international companies where they normally have to arrange shoots and get photographers to match the same company style, and they always end up varying. There's going to be a lot of consistency that you're going to be able to do with this. Where this is falling short is skin texture and that sort of detail. That will get better, no question. So that will get close to perfection where it's indistinguishable. And then the next thing will be subtle changes and nuances that we want to make with lighting and expression. Now there's certain things you could do with this shot in Photoshop. We could bring this into Photoshop, and I could go into mouth and use some of these facial expression adjustments to warm up, more serious or not, but it's still quite limited. And those are normally the things we end up working with an individual in a photo shoot to get those small nuances. And I kind of touched on that earlier on about the human connection. So that'll be very tricky to master doing something like this. Now there's another evolution where if they were able to create a 3D model of us, where we could create a 3D model of the individual, and then we could move lighting in just like you would in 3D animation, then you could really master and control what lighting's doing. But then you're in a whole other arena, and I could see that being in a pro level setting. But for something like this, I think if this gets 10%, 15% better, I think right now it's about 70, 75% good. I think you're gonna have a product that will have a use case and could absolutely replace photography. And I'm going to keep my finger on the pulse with this because I am not one that is rejecting AI. I will lean hard into it because it alleviates a lot of logistical issues that we have as photographers, which is buying gear, lighting, studio space, travel for the client. Those are all things that we have to take into consideration for our costs. So if we can reduce those costs for the companies and certain clientele, we can translate that over to them, and we can become masters at using AI to create our images. Same skill set in terms of what we're looking for and the outcome, but accomplishing it in a different way. And you know, this is just like when we went from film to digital. There's a lot of people that were lost in that transition, and there's a whole lot of people that found opportunity in that transition. And I think this is going to be the same for us as well. And who knows where this goes. I mean, I have the Vision Pro sitting here that I work on. That's a whole other arena of technology that like blows the doors open on what's possible in the visual arts. So I'm going to keep my finger on the pulse with this, and maybe I'll even try some other sites. And if you're aware of any other websites that do this as good or better, share it with me in the comments below and I will try it. I want to see what's possible that's out there. And I would love to know what your input is on this as well. What are your thoughts? Do you think this can replace? Because I know there's going to be a lot of pushback from traditional photographers on this that are really going to be against AI. And I think you're going to have some really good, strong arguments in that arena. But the reality is, this is here. It's not leaving. So, and they're clearly finding a place for it in photography. So, and it will escalate and improve. So the question is, do you utilize this as a tool or not? And if you don't choose to, there will be people that will. And if they can create images that are 90, 95% good enough for certain use cases like company headshots, they will outprice you and they will take clientele. And that is the reality, like it or not. So there you have it. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe. My goal here is to give information that's valuable to you. So if you have any questions, and it doesn't have to be even relating to this, put it in the comment section. Consider me a friend and resource to help you out. I don't know everything. We work in the arts and we're always learning. So if you have information you can share with me, I'm an open book. I have a small ego and I'm always willing to learn. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.